Stephen A., this is your squad. What should the Steelers do with Bryant now?
Hold on to him until the end of the season and then think about what you're going to do from there. The fact of the matter is he does have a case in terms of not being targeted enough. He doesn't have even half the amount of targets as Antonio Brown has, and he's the number 2 receiver. I know there's Le'Veon Bell there, Antonio Brown there. We get all of that, but if you look at Big Ben Roethlisberger, there are times when it looks like he could do a better job looking guys off, going to another receiver, whatever, as opposed to being transparent and looking in one direction more consistently than we've ever seen Big Ben Roethlisberger do. Having said all of that, Martavis Bryant is not right in this because considering his troubles, self-inflicted, drug use and beyond, he was suspended the entire year last year. Considering that the Pittsburgh Steelers have stood by him, considering that what they have tolerated, understanding that he's not the most trustworthy individual in the world, you would think his priorities is just being available and showing up every day to work and being there on Sundays and leaving it at that for a full season before making moves. Instead, just weeks in to his return, he's talking about wanting to be out, wanting to be traded. He comes across as very, very unappreciative, and it's compromising the Pittsburgh Steelers to some degree and putting Coach Mike Tomlin in a position where he has to talk about something he really doesn't need to be talking about. So, again, hold on to him because he's too talented. He's only 26 years of age. He can be a big-time receiver. Can't knock him for wanting his money. Can't knock him for wanting the touches, which will facilitate him getting his money. But there is culpability here on his part because of the kind of position that he's put himself in where he hasn't proven himself to be a trustworthy individual. And maybe, just maybe, because the Steelers can't trust him so much, that's why they drafted Juju Smith-Schuster out of USC. That's why he's getting some touches, because they're hoping and praying all the time that Martavis Bryant is going to be available as opposed to knowing it. He owns that. That's not on them. That's on him.
The question is, what should the Steelers do? And the answer is trade him in the offseason. The Steelers are starting to come together as a team. They're starting to win. They're starting to look like one of the favorites in the AFC right now, one of the possibilities, if not for the roadblock of the Patriots, and maybe the Chiefs if they keep this up, to represent the AFC in the Super Bowl this year, maybe to win it. The NFC ain't no great shakes. I don't see any unbeatable team there, or even a very good one at this moment. So everything is going that way now. You don't mess with it. And maybe Martavis Bryant's presence on the field actually does help Antonio Brown and Le'Veon Bell and whomever else, and therefore Ben Roethlisberger. Look, why is Martavis Bryant doing this? Because the average NFL career lasts under 3 seasons, and you don't get paid in those first 3 seasons anyway. And he's one of the best in the world at what he does in a very competitive field. And he's not a really rich guy yet, and he wants to be a rich guy. The problem is, his approach here is totally idiotic. It's idiotic. As you said, Stephen A., He was suspended for a year for recidivist drug use of marijuana. Think about that. It's medically impossible to become addicted to marijuana. And yet he was so addicted, he's like a medical miracle, that he actually lost a year of his career, and his team suffered and his bottom line suffered. So now he's trying to get paid, and he's thinking to himself, he must be, if I'm not targeted, I can't make catches. If I don't make catches, I can't get my money. Martavis, you will now get less money than you would have otherwise gotten if you kept your mouth shut. It is a distraction because Coach is talking about it at the press conference. The only reason I don't say move him now is because that might be more of a distraction. And what do you get for him? The Steelers are winning. Don't mess it up. Hope you can integrate him back into the locker room and onto the team. Let him help you. And after this season, you're going to move him. And Martavis, you're going to get paid less than you would have.